Princess Diana was just 20 years old when she married Prince Charles. She captured the hearts of people all over the world. And this summer marks the 20th anniversary of her death. Tonight, CBS will air a 2-hour special on the life, death, and the legacy of the woman who became known as the People's Princess. This is a preview.
The world thought they knew her. 20 years later, we finally learn who she really was.
Her name was Diana, and the world fell in love with her. But her fairy tale life also had heartache. As you know, it did not have a happily ever after ending.
In 1981, the world was transfixed as Diana Spencer made her way down the aisle of St. Paul's Cathedral towards her prince. 16 years later, all eyes would be on a solemn procession towards Westminster Abbey. Princess Diana's sudden death left the world in mourning, and 2 young boys without their mother.
Well, I think Diana's death robbed the world of an extraordinary, luminous character.
Patrick Jepson was Diana's private secretary.
She leaves an unfillable gap on the world stage.
When history looks back at the 20th century, there may be 6 style icons. Princess Diana is on that list. It's irrefutable.
Yet Princess Diana was also accessible and compassionate. She visited and touched AIDS patients at a time when fear often overshadowed reason.
She went on to leprosy, the mentally ill, the homeless.
Diana was the people's princess, but behind the public adulation, there was private turmoil. Royal biographer Sally Bedell Smith says Diana was consumed by jealousy over Charles's ex-girlfriend, Camilla Parker Bowles.
This jealousy became a real canker in the relationship very, very early.
As the marriage crumbled, both sides began affairs. But the breaking point came in 1992, when a bombshell book was published based on a secret recording Diana had made about her unhappy marriage, bulimia, and even a suicide attempt. Ingrid Seward is the editor-in-chief of Majesty magazine.
She immediately made enemies of the royal family. It was a true war.
Scandal after scandal would rock the royal family. By 1995, the palace had finally had enough. Princess Diana and Prince Charles were divorced the following year. Yet the public's love affair with Diana was far from over. But no one could have imagined that these would be the last images anyone would see of the princess alive. She died in the early morning hours of August 31st, 1997, after a car crash in a Paris tunnel.
This gorgeous fairy princess, and you don't expect her to end her life in a traffic accident.
The circumstances of Diana's death were shrouded in mystery. Conspiracy theories flourished. Tonight, we will put them to rest. We will tell you exactly what happened.
And finally get to know the woman who showed the world that power doesn't come from a crown, it comes from your heart.
Now, our 2-hour primetime special airs tonight, starting at 8 o'clock.
Wow,
East Coast time.
I still remember that. What did you learn in putting this together?
You know, the thing that surprised me most, Norah, is that they had only been out 12 times before they got married. I didn't know that, Charlie, before I started working on this. They had only been together 12 times, and at one point, Prince Philip pressured his son and said, look, now you have to do the right thing. They wanted someone who was virginal, who seemed very innocent, and she certainly seemed to fit all those categories.
Well, she was just 19 years old.
She was just 19 when they met, even though he and Camilla Parker Bowles had a relationship, and she was not considered so virginal, to put it diplomatically. But I was fascinated by that, to know that, and there was a 12-year age difference between the two of them, too.
But does anybody point at one particular party and blame them for the breakup, or is it just simply the circumstances of age and...
I think it was, and they didn't really have anything in common when you look at what he liked and what she liked. And there were a lot of forces working against him. There was clearly a Team Charles and clearly a Team Diana contingent. And at the end of the day, her friends that are close to her say she still loved him.
Was the royal family jealous of her enormous popularity around the world?
Well, they didn't, you know, she was a different kind of royal, as you know. She interacted with people. She was very engaging. She wanted her sons to have a normal life. She didn't have that stiff upper lip. You know, they allowed us to come shoot at her family home in Althorp, where she's also buried. We actually got to see her gravesite when we were there.
And they don't usually open that up at all.
No, they don't. They don't. We were very grateful that they allowed us to do that. So you got a sense of who she was as a little girl. It's really fascinating.
Really excited to see that.
So again, can I tell you when the special's on?
Yes, please tell
Nora,
me.
Charlie, can I
Yes,
tell you?
of course.
Just in case you're not at home at 8 o'clock, don't miss a 2-hour primetime special. Princess Diana is what we're calling it, her life or death, the truth tonight at 8/7 Central, right here on CBS.
Really looking forward to that.
Thanks.